Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be replacing some pipe under the sink and installing a garbage disposal. The reason this job came about is because I was trying to do dishes yesterday and I was standing in a puddle of water and figured out that all of my pipe fittings, the seals had corroded away or weren't even there to begin with. So yeah, we're gonna fix that today, and I figured I might as well put in a garbage disposal while I'm at it. So I already ripped the pipe out because I had to tear out a shelf that was in the middle of this. So we skipped that step. The bottom of the sink there, right here. There's a lock ring that's holding that on there. Maybe I can get it undone with my hand. We're just going to use some channel locks to remove it. Pipe wrench would also work in this situation if you have one, as long as you can pry in both directions simultaneously. You got the lock ring, it's coming off. We're just going to take a moment and wipe all the old putty that's crusted in there. That way we have room for the new putty when we put the new drain. So, the garbage disposal that we have purchased today is this lovely Glacier Bay. You can see it here. It is the TurboGrind. It says that at the bottom. I don't feel like moving my phone out of this cabinet again. And in order to install it, on the top of it was this unit. This is what goes in the drain. And as you can see, there's Phillips screws there. We're going to have to undo. So I'm going to do that real quick. Try to do it where you can see what I'm doing. Oh, obviously, it won't come apart. If you can see that written there, I just need to pop that off, maybe with a screwdriver. Wedge it up under there. That's what keeps this from falling off whenever it feels like it. There we go, we're off. So now my bottom will come off. And then I'm going to take this unit and I'm going to, I believe, Plumber's Putty it in with just this. Go Plumber's Putty all around the edge here. There's no harm in putting too much Plumber's Putty because you're just going to wipe it away when you're done. Just take a bunch of it, try to roll it up a little bit, just spread it out here. I mean, that's way too much obviously, but it's just going to create a seal so the water doesn't leak down through the edge. I will be, once I tighten this down, it's going to squeeze out the excess Plumber's Putty, which again is why I said there's no harm in using too much. The only harm is it's, wasteful, but I'm not going to end up using this Plumber's Putty again for a while. We're going to stick it down here. So I'm sticking that part that I put the Plumber's Putty in right here. You see it sticking through. There's a lot of extra again. put this in. This ring right here, you can see, is so you don't put dent marks in your sink when you tighten the screws down. It disperses the pressure with the set screws. Put those back on. Okay, now we're in business. I'm going to tighten the hell out of these screws, and that will have step one complete. There's a lot of extra on top.
You can probably put it back in the container if you want, or just dispose of it properly. Next, we're going to install the main unit here. There should be some screws in the packaging.
It's in this little pouch here. Alright, so we have this pipe. We have this holder, set screw set that it says in the sticker. The two little screws. We are going to attach the pipe where that red tape was. Right. Take this and slide it up over. There's a nice rubber edge here to prevent prevent leaks. I'm gonna hang this up just for your sake. It'd be a hell of a lot easier to do it without. All right, so that's up there. Put these screws in. Just so you know, I'm sure I'll put it on this video later, or I'll put it as a separate video hooking up the power for the garbage disposal. If I even make it to it tonight. I'm not advised to start a project like this one.
So I attached the black portion for the drain for the garbage disposal. It's not really in the best location for this job, so I'm going to take the garbage disposal off and actually reposition that pipe towards the back of the garbage disposal. New P trap so that the smell from the sewer doesn't come back up into your house. 16-inch end outlet waste to connect horizontally between the garbage disposal and the other sink.
This 12-inch extension tube to go up into here. As you can see, they put some sort of rubber fitting. If I can do away with that, that would be awesome, but we'll see about that. Now there should be a piece that goes here. I think that's upstairs in the sink. I'll let everything that I thought I may need to reuse soak. Now I need the P-trap, so I'm going to take this apart. Alright, so I gotta put this on here so I can connect the two threaded ends. Slide that, or not the threaded, I can connect the horizontal piece with this here. And do that. This is going to end up going in this hole. I'm missing part of it now. And that's glued together so I can shift it a little bit.
I want to position that pretty much directly under the other sink opening.
We're going to go with the 16-inch end out. Connectors on this part. So I'm going to have to cut things to make them closer to level. But I'm just showing you roughly. It should go on there like that and tighten down. So that tightens down. This is very off. So I started taking things apart again. I'm gonna cut this black piece of pipe down. Let's get this out of here. Just a little bit, because it's just not level. Milwaukee Portaband. I'm definitely not doing this part under the sink. I don't feel like cutting something I'm not supposed to. So I'm just gonna take about a ½ inch off. So now that that's a little higher, Now I'm noticing, I'll show you a different angle, I'm noticing that is clearly not in line. I don't have any flexible pieces, so I will have to cut this down a little bit in order to get them lined up.
So we have the pipes lined up here. As you can see, I'm pointing to cut it flush. I would leave about 1/4 of an inch. I did have to adjust that later on.
As long as it's dry, the pencil will write. So now make sure that can be directly under the sink. Right about here. It's very light. That's fine. Take it off and cut it.
And then we're going to put the piece back into the vertical portion and then tighten it back down to the garbage disposal and tighten it down to the vertical piece. And hand tighten all your fittings as much as you possibly can. So after that, I spent a little while trying to mess with this vertical portion and then realized it wouldn't work with the fittings I had, so I ended up putting the rubber piece back in and just putting a straight piece of pipe from the rubber portion down to my bottom joint there. I also had to make sure I held the pipe up from the rubber fitting down to the lower portion you see in the video here and cut it to length. It should go into the pipe about 1/4 inch as well. Make sure you don't forget to put all your seals on so that there's no leaking issue. Now, if you have all the parts needed to connect to the actual sink, I would recommend using them, of course, but now I'm just putting my rubber flexible piece back on and tightening the straps down. The last part is to connect the end of the P-trap, the outward end of it, into the actual sewage line. So we're going to put this connector on, slide in a rubber gasket, stick it in there as far as we can, reasonably, and tighten everything down.
So, always double check your fittings, make sure everything's as tight as you can get it by hand. You don't want it to leak.
So now that we're done with everything, we're going to turn the water back on to the sink, and then we're going to give the pipes a test and see if we spot any leaks.
Alright, there's one final thing I want to do before we get to the electric. I got to get this dishwasher connected to this empty hole on the back, which is, you can't see it.
A quick note, I did this once before, and there is actually a plug inside of that black portion of the garbage disposal. You should knock it out with something like, they recommend a pencil. I just use my screwdriver just like to be gentle. I took the clamp that's on the end of that hose and I loosened it up so it's sliding over the black portion a little bit easier. And then just slide it on over and tighten it up with a screwdriver.
Double check. Hope it slid off. So fire check. Check again. Yep, that's much better.
Alright, and that should be it for your install. Just make sure you run the dishwasher, make sure it all drains out when you get to the drain portion. If you didn't remove that plug like I had mentioned before, then it's just going to fill the dishwasher up and the water is going to pool in the bottom of it. That should be it. Great job, guys. If you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos to come. Thank you.